Hey, everybody. It's me, Peter Palmiotti, and everybody will be joining me as they can. So I'm starting out the show.
I'm here.
There's Alison.
Yep. Sorry, running late. Had a doctor's
Oh,
appointment.
no problem. I just started, so no worries.
Yep.
So Peter and Timothy will be joining us as they can. They both have day jobs, so
Oh God, day jobs. They're not making comics full time.
how dare they?
Yeah. Well, that powerful need to eat, I guess.
Yes, yes, yes.
So we're looking at Pete. Last page of Wildcat.
This is the last page of Wildcat. Yay!
Fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta start crossing things off my list. It's getting nuts.
Well, now you got like a super secret project you just got landed. So,
Well, it's a piece.
well,
It's not a project, but it will take me a while. Yeah, I can't talk about that, but
I said super secret piece. There we go.
okay.
I don't even know what it is. So, he tells me like everything. So if you guys feel left out, just think about me. The partner in crime is left out. So.
Oh. Well, it was fun, kind of hanging out with you last night.
What was that?
Over on David's channel.
Oh yeah, that was fun. That was a really good time. I love Dave. He's great. Him and Meredith are good to me, so I have nothing ever bad to say about them. They're great people.
Yeah.
I want to get Dave on this show. I'm trying.
Yeah. Well, we'll drag him on.
Will happen. It will happen. It's a matter of time.
I hope they find their kitty.
So am I. I'm really worried about Meredith's cat. I was talking with Meredith a bit last night in between the during the stream. So
yeah. So yeah, in other cat news, I got woken up at like 4 a.m. by one of my cats, Ripley, who was outside, who wanted in. Then an hour later, Lisa messaged me and said she needed a hand because, what is it, Millie?
Millie or Lily, you said?
Millie, yeah, Millie's, who's been pregnant, was having her kittens, and she was like in the fabric of the bed, the bottom of it.
Oh God!
So having the kittens, so I had to help her get the Millie out and the kittens that were there. It was like 3 at the time, and then 3 more came, so it was 6 in all.
Oh dear God!
Yeah,
my poor mother.
And this is her second litter. Like the first litter, only 1 survived. So time will tell, like if all 6 will survive or what. But right now they all look good. And what was it? Yesterday, well, the good news is that we got the father both times. The dad, we got him fixed. And that's Simba. So Simba's fixed now, so no more cat litters. And we also got one of my strays, who I thought was a girl, turned out to be a boy.
Is that Meow Meow?
Yeah, it's the cat I called Meow Meow. And
cheaper to get fixed.
Yeah. So since he's a boy, and really he was slept a bunch. I brought him home here and then in the evening he started coming alive, and so I let him out today. It's like the second day in a row, like we had 71 degrees. So he's back out there, but he's fixed now, so
Good.
he won't cause any chaos.
Well, hopefully not.
Hopefully, no. He's a good cat. He was playing with my cat here last night.
Good.
So, yeah. So yeah. Other than getting on top of work, my next mission is to, get my girls their traveling papers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. I will be out of commission next week because I'm going to be in the hospital. So
Right.
that'll be fun. Not really, but
Yeah.
enjoying food while I can because I'm liquid diet as of Saturday.
Oh, good. Oh, good gosh. No, I don't envy you.
Is what it is.
Yeah. Well, wish you luck. So what are you working on today?
I am trying to do some writing on A Girl in Her Shadow. I am trying to put some text in to give kind of a feel of where this starts, and go from there. So I'm just I'll pop it up in a few. Just when I get this kind of done. That's
Cool.
Peter Welmerink. Walmarenk. I hope I got that right. With a hello. Hello,
Welcome,
Peter. Good to see you.
Yeah. He'll be joining us.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every time I see his name, it's like, that should have been my name. I'm the anchor. What the heck?
Yep. You and your brother.
Yeah.
I mean, he's more of a writer now, I think. But yeah.
Yeah. He occasionally does art stuff, but mostly he's 98% a writer.
Yeah.
And the graphic novel I'm going to be more focused on soon. What's it called? Designated. Mark asked me to see about getting some people to do cover for it, and he suggested Amanda. So I messaged Jimmy about it, and he's like, well, we're traveling to like mid-May, and blah blah blah. Is that good? And that should work out. It really depends on the cost of it and if the publisher is willing.
Right on the name. I got it right. Walmarenk. Yes. Go me.
Yeah. But it was like, that's crazy that Jimmy and Amanda are traveling for a couple of months.
Yeah, that is a little weird. Granted, convention season is starting up, so kind of has started. So if they're hitting them, then
yeah, he just posted a picture of him and Amanda in a panel, so they've already been somewhere. I'm only planning one convention, and that will be Heroes Comic Con, which is the end of June 26th or something like that. Who's messaged me? Oh. I forgot a very...
Did you not give links?
I did not give links. Oops.
Is that me? Is that me with a link?
I could do it, but my internet's gonna go weird. So couple
I'll
minutes
get it.
here, and I'll get it.
Yeah,
to you.
yeah, I'll get it too. I'll plug them into private.
All right.
Why do I not see the private chat? Oh, there it is. Okay, give me a sec.
Oh, could you grab them? Oh, okay.
There you go. I popped in the private chat.
Okay. Yeah, my mind is 100 places, so
Mine doesn't work, so I just get it. Telepathic bunny comics. Oh, saying what's up, Peter?
Welcome,
Hey.
Cooper, otherwise known as Cooper.
And Obi-Wan can't help Peter's internet. I don't know, it's been stable today, so fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I am trying new internet right now. I'm using T-Mobile 5G internet, and yeah, if it runs good today, canceling Comcast tomorrow.
Is that like with a router, or is it through your phone, or how's that work?
They give you a router.
Okay, so it's like normal internet.
Yeah, they give you it's basically a Wi-Fi hotspot.
Right.
And miracles do happen.
I did look it up really quickly, and it is in my neighborhood, although I'm not under contract or anything, but I hate changing my internet all the time.
No, I don't blame you.
But it doesn't seem to be a little cheaper, and if it's more effective, then it might be something I look into.
Well, basically what I was doing, I grabbed it. It's $50. So I'm like,
right.
Okay. Your first
cheaper
month's
than what I'm
basically
paying.
free. So you pop it in, you see how it works, and if it craps out on you, you're out $50 at most.
Right.
So, because you get to try it out before you pay for it. So you could probably argue with them being like, this thing sucks. Never mind.
Yeah,
Also, you have to see if it's even in your area.
Yeah, it's. I looked it up. It's in my area. There was another internet provider, but what is it? I think they worked like your internet could run out during the month. What do they call it?
Yeah, it's metered or something.
Yeah, it's metered. And I was like,
this does not.
That. Yeah.
Yeah, this is unlimited, and it's 5G internet, and it's basically, they don't raise the cost. So.
Yeah.
You get those links out?
Oh, I thought you were doing it.
I don't know these people.
Okay, hold on. Maybe I could do it through here. I don't know. I'm retarded sometimes. Let's see. How's this work? Can I work through? Hold on, guys. I'm getting to you.
Yeah, that would annoy me too. I just don't like I don't like the bigger companies in that sense because they always jack the prices and they're like, oh, you get these up to this speed. It's like, oh, the hell with you people. Just give me the max. That's how I host the love stream. All right, then. Yeah, I would have sent that out, but I'm not friends with them, I don't think, on Facebook or anything, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting 1,000 messages.
Pops just messaged me too. He's like, I need more art.
Not all of it.
Where is it? Where is Kaiju Chrome? It's not in my list. Yeah, this is Friday. Yeah, I think I'm on Ladies' Night this Friday, so that should be fun.
Oh, cool.
Yep. It was like myself and Ravina were Ladies' Night last time, and that was a little annoying. Everybody else bailed.
Oh,
And
geez.
since I wasn't like hosting, I didn't have anything prepared. Pop says ADHD bad.
Right.
Yeah, there's that. Oh. No, I want to get him a actual kind of shot of Kaiju Chrome, so I'm gonna pull it out. Actually, probably color it on the stream.
All right. Stop sending me messages. All right. Yeah. I got it. Okay.
You got it? Cool. All right. Because otherwise I was going to figure out a way. I'm not sure what that way would have been, but I would have figured it out.
I didn't know. Like I do separate. What you call it? Browsers. Like I use a browser I don't normally use to do this. The streams. It's less.
Can't hear you.
Hey, Timothy. Nope.
Yes, got you there.
Okay.
Make sure you mute the stream.
Hey, Peter.
Hey, sorry about that. I'm like all over the place.
No worries.
I didn't expect you guys so early. So.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Peter should be here any second, I guess, too.
I'm going to get so confused.
Yeah, so Peter and I are talking about teaming up. You guys might want to talk about that a little bit tonight because his stories and my stories kind of fit together. So we've been, the best efforts are always collaborative.
That's true. I can agree with that.
Yep.
Here we go.
Oh.
Hello. I was just.
So Peter's an axe murderer.
I was just dealing with my big jack utensils. So I'll put them away before someone gets hurt, like myself.
And before we get demonetized.
Yes.
Oh, what was it? Telepathic Bunny Comics is asking, what is the property? And he's also said, the stream just got interesting. And it did.
Yes.
Yeah.
There he is.
So what was the property you guys were talking about teaming up on? We were talking about you behind your back, Peter.
Well, actually, I'll jump in because I'm the joiner to the Earth Dog Studios realm. Basically, Tim and I were talking, well, probably way back when we met, which hasn't been that long, but and we discovered that we enjoy creating in the same genre, in the sci-fi post-apoc dystopian setting. So anyway, and it's a lonely road as a independent creator, and and I'm sick of being lonely. So Tim and I talked.
I want some friends.
Yes, Tim and I talked a little bit about what we're both working on, and since they are both kind of similar, I guess we figured we'd combine forces, and two heads is better than one, and get on the lonely road of indie creation together.
Right,
That sounds
right.
great.
I'll chime in there by saying, the publishing thing is kind of new to me, you might say, and my goal, of course, is always to be a writer, and I think that Pete's the same way. And we want to find a way to make a platform where our stories are essentially the basis, kind of like the springboard of all the stories. It's a shared universe, is what it is, and it's really what makes it cool for any type of property, that there's different characters and their place in their world and that kind of thing, sort of the lore, right?
Yeah.
Well, the thing about indie publishing is that it can be kind of a lonely road, right?
Oh God, yeah.
And yeah, and speaking for myself, sometimes I get myself caught up in these things. These are what I call the publishing details, and how many in the order, and how many pieces of cardboard, and how many mailers, and how you're going to do the marketing, and how you're going to do the search engine. It's all like a big monster, right?
Oh God, yeah.
And at the end of the day, what a guy like me should be doing is writing. So we have to find a way to, find our strengths, I guess, really, and to emphasize the things that we do. And one of the things with the publishing and a little bit the business aspects, I guess I sort of came by that naturally, but I do have some skill there. But what the benefit would be for both of us, I would say, not to speak for Peter, he's going to chime in, I'm sure, after this. But it would be something like, you have the Earth Dog Studios brand, which is starting to get its name out there because of, the Water Wars titles. And I think kind of how it's put together a little bit like a history, right? And I think people respond to that. And I think the thing with Pete's story, he writes the same way. Although I've mentioned, I think his characters are better than mine. He's better at the character dialogue. But I will say that the stories, they mesh together very nicely, and they could very easily be part of the same shared universe.
Yep.
And the benefit for both of us would be a little bit bigger playground. And also, if we had a little bit of, let's speak directly, you're going to have some marketing push, right? Like now we're going to have, if you're picking it up this way, you'd say something like, it's going to be 4 Water Wars titles. By the way, it's going to be 5. And then there's going to be the Chronicles series, and then the Big Jack series. And then potentially it could even be more than that. Like there's been some talk of the sword and sorcery thing. We're both super into that. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah,
but
I have that problem.
Yeah, I got to keep
My
it
wallet's
focused,
empty.
right? Because look, at the end of the day, what I really need to do is have a library of published titles, let's say 10 titles, and each time you'd have one big new one, and that would be your Kickstarter, or it'd possibly be an Indiegogo. But I would still always run the website, or maybe even something like a Substack. I'm not sure the methods of it yet, but it would be the 10 stories roughly. There's going to be about 9 songs. And all the, of course, the maps. We're all really into maps, right?
Yeah.
So that would be the elements. That would be the elements of the shared universe, and there's like different trends to the stories. I'm gonna take a quick sip of water before I explain this.
No, please. Trust me, I got mine.
Big Jack.
So you'd have
and
three arms, and this is just the way I'm picturing it right now. First off, you have what we call Water Wars 2288, and it's a futuristic story with a female character. There's always kinds of wild post-apocalyptic settings, and she's always getting into all kinds of nonsense in the future. It's kind of a little bit like a Saturday morning cartoon show. Nobody's in any real danger, if you know what I mean. It's a little bit fantastic. Then the second choice would be Water Wars Chronicles. That's the one with Irwin. It has a hand-painted look, and it's sort of beautiful and very sci-fi and very Matheson, very Bradbury, right?
Ooh.
That's the vibe that you'll get.
I got one of my favorite words with Matheson.
Really? Wow, that's awesome, because you'd really like it. The reviewers are coming back from Lost at Sea, and 2 people said it was sad but beautiful. And I thought that was such a great review.
I agree with that.
That is
that book, Lost at Sea, is beautifully done. The the artwork is spectacular.
Right.
The writing is wonderful. I was kind of wondering where you were going to go with that story, so I was kind of surprised at the end, happily surprised at the end. It's like, okay, yeah, and
It's a little movie, right? It's a little
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
And
So
I'm so glad you
beautiful.
say that, Pete, because that's what we were going for, right? We said, I can remember saying this. We said, look, we've got to put a little bit more emotion into these stories.
Mhm.
That when people go through the stories, they'll feel like they experienced it. And it has to be like, you know, you can feel it when you read an emotional story, I say.
Yep. Yep.
And it's a little bit weird to inject that into a sci-fi story in a poetry quoting sea captain, right? Like it's the ingredients kind of don't really go together. But then I think when you read the story, you know, he's got his naval computer. It's a great story.
Yeah,
I want
it
to read
worked
this
out-
more
worked out
now
good.
because he's a poetry quoting naval captain. I want to read it just for that.
Right,
Yes.
right. And he's all about the quotes. And it kind of, each one kind of like gently nudges the story along. Kind of.
Yep.
And then the third arm, that when you were talking about the publishing, this would be Pete's wing, right? And it would be things like, you can have Big Jack in there. There's going to be a sword and sorcery titles. It would be like a mind-blowing artwork. Like people would go, whoa, like we would go for it, right? That would be the way we would make our, like that could be, this is, again, I'm just speaking out loud here. That's what we do. We're all creators together. I could see if the whole thing works and it's all under one umbrella, you'd have all your backstories that you could choose from at any time. And maybe there would even be some kind of thing like a patron could check them all out like a library book, or I haven't quite figured out all the details there, but something like that for digital
Like a
people.
digital download.
Right.
Yeah,
And
yep.
have it be really cheap so that lots of people can get all these great stories.
Yeah. Yep.
Something like that. But as you and I know, it's still going to take the form of collectors, right? We like things that are printed. We like maps that have shiny chrome, and we like, you know, the cover with the foil enhanced logo, and that's, you know, that's always going to be a thing, right?
Yep.
Well, I mean, Comics Tropes actually just did a whole episode on the variant cover and, like, you know, the special cover, like the glow in the dark, the chrome, the platinum issue.
Mhm.
And I sometimes call them now the Kickstarter covers, because it's the only one. Like when I do the Kickstarters, I do the same thing. I'll make like 25, but that's all there'll be for that one. And then it'll just be cover A, goes into your Amazons and your wherevers.
Yep.
Exactly.
I always have
people who collect that kind of thing. I've collected a couple of them.
There's a one of my backers for Big Jack. He swears by the like the blank variant cover. He'll back for like a regular cover, and then also he'll say, I want a blank variant, which, you know, the blank variants and the special variants like the cardstock cover, and the I do one because I always like Scotty Young cover, so I do a PDW cover,
cool.
which is my own like you know, I'm not as good as Peter, but I'm working on it, and someday I'll be as good as Peter. But anyway, but those are those special books that you only actually print a few, but because some of these people want those, I gotta put them in there, you know.
Yep, I love my sketch covers.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So, and as far as what Tim was talking about kind of combining forces and doing the shared world thing, a lot of like my stuff from like a timeline standpoint is quite a bit, I guess, earlier than the 2288 material. Even some of the codex material that Tim has put out there.
We could include it. We could include it right from there. That it would go right from there. We could do the whole thing.
I think as early as you go is 2098, I think, and of course Big Jack is floating around the 2080s.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
And my transport
what's
stuff.
Do you want to include the sword and sorcery? Was it Blue Delilah, right?
Blue Delilah. However,
cool name.
I think we were talking about integrating her into the Water Wars world in awesome. I almost see like a reverse Westworld
Sure.
like arena type thing where you have these people that have been raised in in this environment that they think this is the only thing, like this
course,
medieval
yeah.
environment, medieval environment that she was raised in, and that it's actually kind of overseen by the robocracy, and
Oh, I love it already.
they
Oh, good.
they throw their I guess human garbage into this arena, which is basically a massive canyon. I'm thinking about location, and I always refer to your map, Tim. So anyway, we'll have to talk about that. But basically taking her, since I've kind of already developed her, but I haven't necessarily placed her. I think if we could create almost like a little fantasy realm, like a domed world.
There's always ways to do that, yeah. And
Yeah.
I love stuff like that.
So
Don't forget, we got the 1868 in there. You could help me write that.
oh
one.
yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, so my material that I'm bringing to the table is, starts out in 2025, my transport stuff. And again, you have transport, you have Joe Cross, all that stuff was very visually written. And I know when I was doing talking to Ryan Cummins, who suckered me into doing Big Jack. No, not really. But
Hey, can I interrupt you right there?
Yeah.
So you know Ryan.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how well do you know him?
I know him fairly well. I could
Because
probably
he's just teamed up now with Bad Bug, right?
Bad Bug. Yep.
And he's killing it.
Yeah. Yep.
Which
So
it kind of where I was going with it, that shows you the point that it's getting wise to.
You're like
Yeah.
hitting your mic or something. Yeah, getting a lot of feedback.
You're
from you, Tim.
breaking up a bit, Tim.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of feedback on the mic.
because he's excited. He's very
Maybe
excited.
unplug and plug.
I was excited.
Yeah,
Is
it's a
that-
connection issue, I
I'm
think.
very excited.
It's that human
How about
cyborg
now?
relations link up.
Yeah.
Your satellite link up is being scrambled by the robocracy, Tim.
Well, what I tried to do is check out my new microphone, and it's not working. The headphones work, but the microphone's giving you that.
Oh, nice.
Usually, it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
if you can endure it, I can endure it.
Yeah, I think we're doing good. So
Yeah.
it sounds fine now. So
Yeah.
yeah. So the timeline stuff, I think, within our worlds could easily come together, and obviously, because we have insane creative brains, we could easily thread this stuff together to make it mesh.
Yeah.
So and and like how Ryan. Oh yeah, what I was getting at was Ryan Cummins was the one that approached me and said, back in pre-pandemic days, whatever those were like, I don't remember, but
it was long ago and far away.
yes, far away. He had approached me during a book show because I knew him prior with his Rumble Kings material that he has out there. And he said, have you ever thought of taking one of your characters, and rolled it into a comic book, maybe a short series? And I said, I have, but I haven't really thought too serious about it. So he actually helped me, and I got to give him props for helping me on Big Jack 1. Really getting my head wrapped around taking because I usually write, prose, books, novels, whatever. So the script writing was a little new, and how you got to condense that story down visually. And so anyway, he helped me really kind of hone in on Big Jack and the script writing and the art and all that stuff. So, but we were talking at some point, maybe because he had read my transport material and he said it's very visual, which that's kind of how I wrote it. It was kind of bizarre. It rolled through my head like a movie almost. And he said that would make a great comic book, but maybe let's start off with a singular character first. So really, anything, we could go anywhere, Tim.
Right.
So, and yeah. So,
well, and like I say, we talk about how some great things are more than the sum of their parts. And honestly, it benefits me too. And it would benefit me in the form of, well, first of all, if we take the Earth Dog Studios brand very seriously, which I do now because it has accidentally become that, that's how we make the books there. So it's like, that was the part that I didn't really know was going to happen, but here we are right in the middle of it. Right.
mm-hmm.
And, now for the first time I'm going to be doing all the professional handling of the product. Like it's going to be warehoused.
Nice.
That's good. That's really
Isn't
good.
it?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I'll let you know, this is going to be my first one, so I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, I definitely want to know how that goes. I know Peter Samiti does that, but he runs Alterna Comics, so he kind of needs a storage house to put everything.
Well, and mine won't be 10,000, but it'll be, well, I bet you it'd be 500 and some, maybe 600. For me, that's a big number.
Well, that's a huge.
Okay, and now we picture in our minds. Okay, now we got Pete's in there with me, right? We've got all the information in the warehouse. Everything gets shipped directly to the consumer that they can buy as a physical product. And we'll keep cool things like variant covers. We'll have Erwin or Rosa collections and crap like that. And that'll be like your retail arm. Like customers will be able to go in there and they can buy it, or there'll be some kind of maybe digital checkout system. And that's what I was thinking of. I don't know, like a library card maybe. Let's say if there was, because there's going to be 20 titles in there, let's say, you could just, for $1, you could read them all and then you give them back or whatever. I don't know, something like that. But really cheap so people could check it out.
Yeah, there's Comixology actually has, I don't know how that whole thing is set up, but you can borrow books to a certain extent, and then
they all have
a lot of books.
They all have something like that, and people have had varying degrees of success with that model. I'm not saying I think it's the great savior. I think our action is on what we do is we have the books warehouse shipped directly to the consumer. That's how they purchase them. They're collectible items. They come with the maps if you want them, or you can view it online. Comes with music. And also, well, then what do you put your push into? That's what our Kickstarters do. Okay, next it's number 4. Next it's Blue Delilah. Next it's Chronicles number 3. It's like a wheel that turns around in a circle. And right about, by the way, your mileage may vary, right? I say all these things like they're super easy. Like, oh yeah, you just do all these things and have terrific success. But in my experience, it's a little,
trial and error.
Right. It's a little bumpier than what I just described to you. But I will say that once you get going, you kind of learn how to do it. Like if you would have asked me 2 years ago, well, how do you have a small publishing that, puts out 4 titles at once and each one has 3 covers? I'd have been like, well, I wouldn't have known how to do it.
Right.
But now I think, oh, sure. Well, there's the cover A, there's the cover B. This is the set. If you collect 3 of these, it's this one. Like everything's broken up into, what the little retail units, of course, is what they are. And I'm always fond of telling my wife, I just need to get lucky one time. I don't need to get lucky 3 times or 10 times or 50.
Right.
But if it's one, that'll be enough.
Right.
Well, I mean, I try to aspire to be like Eastman and Laird, so.
Right.
They definitely got lucky.
Yeah.
Already.
Well, and that's why I always want to make sure that I sound grateful for the small successes that I've had, because I like I say, I was trying to be the writer. I necessarily didn't want to do this part of the, the printing and the shipping and the accoutrements of, running the small business. But I guess now that I'm into it, I got to say I enjoy it, and it's something that there's worse things to be. Like I still have a little bit of my passion for it, I really want the customers to get the best high-end final product. I want them to get the best storytelling. I want them to get the best visuals. I want them to get a cover that goes, oh, that's a cool cover. I can collect. Oh, you can get 3, there's a 1, 2, 3 or a 1, 2, things like that. Customers like that.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'm looking forward to when I get my Kickstarter going / Indiegogo for project I'm working on. So yeah, naturally I'm working on a piece that's going to be in an anthology on Indiegogo soon. So actually, I believe it launches Friday.
I'd like to
And
know more about Indiegogo.
Tim, we can do action figures.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. Trust me. The challenge with that, or again, this is just for me, right? Everybody has a different way that they do their thing. The challenge for me is, you got to make these molds, right? It's a little, what is it? The mold is actually it's not even iron. It's like some kind of plastic mold that they make.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, the cost of making
resin.
the mold is very cost prohibitive for me. I suppose you could almost 3D print something, which Pete could tell us about that.
Hey, yeah, see?
Yep, 3D printing. So you can play Dungeons and
There you
Dragons
go.
with it.
There you go. Yeah,
That's the
of course
future
I
way.
did that.
Yeah.
I did that through Hero Forge. I
nice.
created a Big Jack figure for it's exclusive to the Big Jack 3 Kickstarter, so it's one of the pledge tiers.
Oh, very cool.
You get this sweet little 30 millimeter Big Jack figure. I actually played around and made like all the main characters in Hero Forge, but yeah, I had to just settle with the main guy.
Yeah, I looked at it. I couldn't.
Yeah, it
I
gets
didn't have one
expensive
thing
quick
close
for
to
them.
any of my characters. I couldn't get that thing going.
Right.
The closest
So-
I got was the Minotaur. There was something that was kind of a bullhead. I almost had.
There you
him.
go. Yep. Yeah. So, but yeah, I was just kind of kidding with the action figure and stuff. That would be like years later, when we hook up with Todd McFarlane and
Yeah, exactly.
stuff like that, then or Hasbro or whatever. But yeah, right now, definitely
Now I'm gonna get the
want
movie
to,
deal. So yeah.
yep, get on Netflix or whatever. That's the other thing that I mean, you see a lot of books now. What they have DMZ now out on HBO Max, and that's what's that Brian Wood's book
Yep.
that I read, and I love that.
Yeah, I got to sit down and watch the show. I remember I got the trade of it, and I loved it. So
Yeah, and I could see Water Wars. That'd be like a cool. That'd be a cool.
Yeah, that's kind of what we
series.
do, right? There's even like some stories already written.
Yeah.
It's. I think that the advantage that you and I would have, Pete, is that, and like I say, I'm thinking all the pie in the sky. I know there's a lot of details to go over, but let's stay focused on what the positives are at the beginning, and that's how it could potentially achieve something. So here's what I see at the beginning. Okay, what genres do you have covered in your types of material that you put out? Essentially, what we are is a small publisher. Okay, we've got futuristic post-apocalypse. All right, great. That's the 2288 series. You got hardcore sci-fi. That's the Chronicles series. You got gritty real-world near-future apocalypse.
Yep.
Big Jack.
Yep.
Okay, that's the three
And
good ones.
And transport.
Transport. We didn't even talk about that yet, but that's a whole other thing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's lots of levels that it could be successful, and things say, well, then what do you have that's new? How do you make it new? Okay, hold on. Do you like sword and sorcery with a kick at? I love it. Okay, great. Here you go. There's Blue Delilah. Oh, what else you got to do? Hey, do you like gritty westerns where people are dying of thirst? Yeah. Here's this one.
Do you like Viking Berserker? Anyway, I've got one of those too, and that was a collaborative effort with
and then
another guy.
With those, then you rotate them around. That's how you try to do. For
Right.
me, what I would try to do is try to do 3 a year. That's a lot for just me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
well,
Because
that's the
essentially what
problem.
you're doing is running 3 teams.
Right. Yep. So, but yeah, I think from a collaborative standpoint, that I mean, we already have material available. That's out there or available through us. Like my prose books, actually, I keep a little inventory here at the house. So when I do book events and stuff, I take that along with me. But yeah, we already have kind of a catalog of material, so it's not like we're launching into the full unknown. So,
Right.
but
Well,
it's
and
definitely
all the products have to be they don't have to be, but you're well served to have something like someone can buy just one. It's just a story, and that's all I want. I just want to read a story, check out a cool comic. That's what I like to do. You can do that with any of our books. But hey, but also I'm the guy who's pretty into it. I want to buy like 5 of those. Hey, not a problem. You can buy 5 in this set. They all go together. Wow, that's even better. I wish there was a way that there was 10. Guess what, buddy?
There is. We got your crack
I
right here.
exaggerate. I'm exaggerating.
There's more. There's more.
Yeah.
We've got a whole short box of. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So, do you have anything you can show off?
I do. I'll talk for a little bit while I'm getting my screen share ready, though.
Sure.
Okay.
Is that what you guys want to do? Is do a screen share?
Yeah. That sounds great.
Sure.
Sweet.
Well, whatever you want. I'm going to share my screen out in a bit, but I want to give you guys full time, so you are the guests.
And campaign is ending what, Friday?
Yeah, my Big Jack issue 3 Kickstarter, which actually wraps up that storyline, ends at like Friday at midnight ish, like a little after midnight.
Well, we definitely have to show that. So
Yes, yep. So close. I'm like $600 away from hitting the funding goal, and we will do it. We will do it. We will do it. We will do it.
I admire you, buddy, and I think it's great that you always set your goal higher than me. I always take the low one.
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
about monetization here. Got a guy with an axe.
still. Do you want the? I actually bring this to book shows, a sledgehammer, because usually, like, comic book stores have a little bit of an issue if you walk in there with an axe. So the sledgehammer seems okay. So
I wonder why they would have a problem with the person walking in with an axe.
I
Just
don't know.
trying to think of a few reasons.
They know I love comics. I mean, come on. The axe is nothing, guys. Just a prop. Just a prop.
Honestly, I'd be a bit more worried about the sledgehammer myself. You can do far more damage with that.
Yeah, come get some. Of course, it gets pretty heavy after a while. My first Kickstarter, I told everybody that or first Big Jack Kickstarter, that if it was successfully funded, I would do a live stream of the Milli Vanilli "Girl You Know It's True" dance in full Jack garb. So I had I think jeans on, my heavy work boots, a heavy plaid shirt, a wool hat, and my real axe and sledgehammer, and I danced. I didn't just do a part of the Milli Vanilli dance, or "Girl You Know It's True." I did the whole song, like with the camera. You know, I'm standing back and I'm dancing like Milli Vanilli. Girl, you know. Anyway, and I did that, and I realized that I'm really out of shape. But I did it. So,
I like
anyway.
to look at it as I'm in a shape.
Right. So for this one, I told people that with the third one, I told people that if I was successfully funded, that I would do the same shtick, the same type of thing, but I would dance to New Kids on the Block, The Right Stuff. So that might have been a mistake with saying that. So anyway, go ahead, Tim. Go ahead, Tim. It's all yours.
Oh, I'm going to share a preview panel with you here. This taking a look at Water Wars number 4. This is called Citizen 0313 and the Code of Tauron. This one we're going to go further down the path of some fantastic monsters and creatures and settings. What's going to happen here, we see in this case, we have the one-armed version of Phaedra 5, one of my favorite versions of the character, because she has just recently transplanted her arm onto the other one. You see in the scene there, Citizen 0313. Well, anyway, she and Citizen are escaping this dystopian government, and they come across the lair of a genetically enhanced minotaur. I might even have a black and white one of those I could show you.
That would be cool.
Yeah, we're having a terrific time making this.
And that's Renan Shoddy that did the artwork.
In this case,
Renan?
it's David Dion,
Oh,
which I work with him on the 0313 stories.
mm-hmm. Beautiful.
I'm gonna dig this up. I stopped sharing, but I'll come back.
Yep, I'm looking still, so I'm peering back and forth, waiting for you to share again.
I work with a colorist who I love so much, but he's in kind of a tough spot in some of the things that he is doing, and hasn't been able to really produce work as fast as the other guys. But I just like his work so much that I got to stay with him.
Is that Angel?
No, Angel. He's always keeps working. This is Daniel Rodriguez who colored these pages. I'm going to show you something that I didn't show anybody. So this will be a special preview.
Nice.
Lucky recently to meet Mr. Mannix Francisco. Do you know Mannix?
I do not.
We will now.
Fantastic. Okay, give me 1 second. Pops up on the screen. Oh, that is nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm liking that a lot.
Yeah, he's got kind of a bold ink style that's real commanding, right?
Yeah.
Terrific guy to work with. This is going to be one of the variant covers for number 4. And this one only has the hint of the shadow of the Minotaur there in the background at the top of the screen. But that part's going to be covered by the logo, as it were. But the thing is, there's going to be 4 covers this time, which seems astounding to me. I can't believe we're going to that level. But
nice piece.
That's very nice.
Cool piece, right? Cool piece.
Wow. And that's, who is that again, the artist?
He is Mannix Francisco.
Wow. Dang. That's what drives me nuts about getting into what we've gotten into, is that and I say it nuts in a good way, but there is such talent out there, and you get this stuff and it's like, I want something from you, but it's not for anything, it's just for me. Can you anyway, but there's so much talent out there. It's just unbelievable, even from like a black and white, artwork type stuff. It's just amazing. These guys and gals that are out there. So
yep. And as long as everybody's making comics, hey, who cares, right? Better save this. I just got a crap load of inking done. I should probably save.
Hey guys, I got a quick family thing I got to check on. I'll be right back though. Okay.
No worries.
Okay.
Take it down.
All right.
Okay.
You want me to? I can throw my big Jack stuff up there.
Definitely.
Okay. Let me try to.
I want to see it all.
Let
me share my screen.
Okay, give me 1 sec.
Can you see me now?
No, I can't see you. Ah!
What is happening?
Yeah, don't click that one.
Can you see the?
Yeah, you see the Kickstarter.
Very good.
Big Jack Animals #3.
Yeah.
Got a guy with a knife, and he's got a scarred face versus the red-headed lumberjack. Got it.
Yes. So, like I said, this is the final issue of the 3-issue series with Big Jack Galloway. Basically, what has happened so far is that Jack, to kind of, survive out in the dystopian world that his setting is, and support his family. He took on a job as a collecting bounties, and he tried to talk this fellow into giving himself up, and the guy ended up jumping off a bridge, committing suicide, and then come to find out that he was the brother of this maniacal dude here, Darby Thompson. So Darby basically, blames Jack for his brother's death, and he goes after Jack, finds his family, burns down Jack's house, kidnaps his family, and so the main storyline is basically Jack trying to, save his family, get his family away from this lunatic who has taken over a small town and called it Thompsonville. That's his last name, Thompson. So he's taken over this small town, and he's got a group of his thugs with him called the Congregation. And
I like that.
they're it's like I'd say it's kind of like a because everything's set in West Michigan, where I'm from. Anyway, and it's like almost like kind of a Mad Max, Book of Eli, so probably more Mad Max, I'd say. Or the what is it? The Road.
The Road.
Yeah,
that's a depressing story.
Yeah, so it's kind of that kind of setting. Yeah. So anyway, so basically, this last issue, as you see, will have Jack confronting Darby finally to rescue his family and hopefully get his ass out of the fryer too, some way, somehow. So
very nice.
And that goes on until Friday at midnight. I can show you some. Oh, here's some of the things. If you like The Road, The Book of Eli, I Am Legend,
Mad Max, and Survivalist.
Yep. You would like this book. And there's a little backstory there. There's Darby giving some love to probably an innocent person. Excuse me. Anyway, this is the main cover done by Evie Cantata and colored by Brian Magne. This is the Erwin Rosa variant cover.
That's nice.
This is basically I always ask Erwin to do like some sort of homage cover. This one is based on the Crisis on Infinite Earths number 7
or 8. Yeah, it's Superman carrying Supergirl.
Yep.
The one everybody knows.
Yep. Right. So I asked him to do something like that. I'm not going to tell you who's in the shroud, but obviously Jack's pretty upset. I also include pinups in every issue, but they're pinups from different artists in every issue. This one is Jack Snyder. He's a local Michigan illustrator. And then Renan Shoddy, who has done work with, is doing work with Tim. That's another pinup, and that's Jack's wife right there, giving Darby some love.
So much deserved.
Because that big lug needs some loving. Included some, and of course you can see this on the Kickstarter page, but included some of it's a black and white book, and this is some of the interior art by Evie Cantata, who I've worked with for all 3 issues here.
Good stuff, Pete. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's really good.
So
that's awesome. Yeah. The painterly look to it works great.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't always work with a lot of books, but it definitely works with that one. It really sells it. It's almost kind of a movie poster feel in certain ways.
Yeah. Well, Irwin does. That's how I kind of when I saw his stuff, I asked him. I said, "Have you done?" Because I think he did like a Star Wars type themed one. I'm like going, "Wow,
cool.
that looks like it belongs in like on a marquee or something." And anyway, but yeah. So there's, like I said, all the stuff is there on the Kickstarter page. One of the and I'll run through this here quick so Tim can get back in and do his thing. But I'd say one of the unique things that I've decided to offer is since I'm a writer and I like to write, I thought, hey, why don't I offer the backers a opportunity to have a story written about them or their character, whatever they want to choose. And also, along with that, so you get a Erwin Rosa black and white illustration. So this will happen to be one of a school teacher here in West Michigan. She signed up for the custom story.
Oh, cool.
And so she got into a custom story, and that's one there. And then this gentleman, that's actually Erwin did. I gave Erwin a picture of this gentleman, and
That's awesome. I just got to chime in here. That's so cool.
Yeah. So, and the story, he wanted a story about himself and his late German Shepherd that I think died a year or so ago. And he wanted a adventure story about him and his dog. So I did that, and he was like super happy. And of course, now he's got a Erwin Rosa custom illustration of both him and his dog, and of course Big Jack. But
yeah, he's pulling a Casey Jones there. So yeah,
exactly. Well, that's what he said too. He goes, I said, how do you want to be drawn? Like in what type of clothing and garb and other stuff? And he mentioned Casey Jones. So I said, there you go. Plus he's a hockey fan.
Nice.
So
fantastic. But, well, they live in Michigan. They better be hockey fans.
That's right. That's right. So anyway, but yeah.
Sorry, it's getting dark here. I'm going to put another light here.
So, and again, yeah, like I said too, that the figure is also the 30 millimeter little gaming figure is also available in the Big Jack 3 Kickstarter page, which again, it's a exclusive after whoever signs up for those, gonna do them, gonna get them run, and then I'm gonna delete that design because that's
nice.
how I'm gonna roll. So
go for it. That sounds fun.
Yep.
That way, it's like truly unique.
Yeah. So, and of course, I had to get one to make sure that it was going to look okay. So,
Well,
but yeah. So I'll have to like pit them against my Warhammer 40K Space Marines.
Sure.
My money's on the Space Marines.
Yeah,
just because, guns.
Yeah, they got pretty big guns. So
they're also basically guys running around in mecha.
Yes. Yeah. All right, Tim.
Are we doing Kickstarter stuff?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, deal.
All the links are down in the video description to Peter's and Timothy's.
Yep.
Campaigns.
Okay. So.
Yeah, Peter's good like that. It's down in as Matt Kova would say, in the doobly-doo. So yeah. I can't take credit for that one, but I like it. So I'm stealing it.
Yeah.
And then my share stopped.
Oh.
Not sure what I did there, but I reversed it.
There it is. I see it.
Okay.
I'll have it up in a sec.
So thanks for taking a look at my Kickstarter.
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons you're here. Show off your
Yeah,
crap.
thanks. Well, this is the third volume of Water Wars 2288. It is a post-apocalyptic series of short stories featuring 3 female protagonists. Sometimes
Very
people
good.
say things like, man, it seems like there's a lot of issues. How do I follow along, or how do I collect it? Well, the first thing is, if you want to read just one, it's a story in one, and you don't really have to get anything else if you don't want to. But if you like stories that are all connected, they are all connected. So the quickest way is, you see right in front of you, 3 is a magic number. If you got those 3 right in front of you, that's Water Wars 1, 2, and 3. That's your 3
Oh, very
cover
nice.
A.
The cover on 3 really is drawing me in. That's really nice.
Oh, thanks. That is the work of Renan Shoddy and his teammate Angel Road on the colors. They really did a terrific job. And
Yeah, all 3 of the covers are great. Just that one really called to me, like the way it's designed. and
Well, thanks. Yeah, I'm real happy. I've been fortunate in some of the teammates that I got to, what they've done with the work that they've created really took everything to the next level.
Yes.
I got lucky.
Yeah,
Show you some splash panels from the book. There's basically 2 short stories in the book. And in this case, it is the adventures of Sarah Strong continuing. And this also shows the origin of Phaedra 5. So as I like to say it, 1 story's in the future and 1 story's in the past. So basically what you have, we'd like to focus on the panel work of Renan Shoddy by doing larger splashes and larger size panels. He can really sort of bring them to life with his details that he makes. And he's always got kind of these deep and inventive grays and, lots of bold blacks everywhere. It's a really commanding art style. And if you're a comic nerd like me, you probably love the layout of his splash panels.
Yeah, both of those are
They're
good.
lettered over that too,
That's amazing. That is amazing stuff.
I would want like prints of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Those are
There you
cool.
go. We usually do offer some prints with the Irwin stuff. In this case, I will have I can tell you now, because we hit the stretch goal. It'll be the robot uprising map, which will be the Asian subterranean assault map, which will have it'll show where the drilling machines came up from beneath the Earth's crust, and it'll be like chrome target sites of the cities they want to destroy.
Tim, you're not supposed to give me any more maps to start thinking.
Well, if you have the set, it'll be like you'll have the set of 3 maps for each book has a map.
Wow.
And as you know, they're kind of similar too. They just the map's basically the same map, just different things are emphasized.
Yep.
Depending on what issue it is.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So the idea being that if you're reading it for the first time, you don't probably care that there's 2 other maps. But if you had 2 of the 3, you go, wait, there's 3. I want to get the other one now. And it's a simple map.
Yeah.
And it is just like a little fun thing for comic collectors. We're all a little bit like that, right?
Yep. Yeah.
It tells you a little bit about the stories and how he
You've
lays
been
them
talking about it, so can you show off one of the maps?
What's that again?
You've been talking about them. Can you show off a map?
Yeah. I have one close by. Absolutely.
Very cool.
So let me stop this one, and I can do. That's the chrome-plated one.
That is beautiful.
Lost at Sea.
That's yummy.
Yeah.
Isn't that neat? And on the back, of course, could it be any cooler? Wait, it's got the Irwin mini print.
Oh, that's
2284.
awesome.
Wait, did mine have that on there?
Yes, it's tucked in the back of each issue.
Oh,
that is great.
You mean did it have the image? Yeah, that's how they're made.
I was so mesmerized by the map, I didn't even flip it over.
That's what's on the other side. That's what's on the other side. Because honestly, it doesn't cost much. How's my audio? Am I talking too close to the microphone?
No, you're fine.
Yep. It doesn't cost much more to print the other side. What really costs a little is the chrome and stuff on the one side. Yep. So that's where that'll kind of add up. And I'll give you an indicator of what these splash panels, how they fit in with the storytelling, right? And as I like to say, we do consider ourselves sequential storytellers, and it isn't really just a selection of pinups, right? And making comics is a craft. We all do it. I like to share just 1 or 2 examples here with you. Like, how does the splash panel technically fit in? Because for me, it's not always necessarily on page 1. You know,
Right.
in
No,
this case,
doesn't have to be.
it's actually page 3. So I've always got to make sure I tweak my pages in the beginning to make sure things land in the right place.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, no, I designed a lot of my stuff to page turn, so
Yep.
like I want something to have impact when you flip a page. So
Yep.
Here's one that I really like the way it came out, the 2
oh,
colors.
that is beautiful.
Yeah.
I just like that big splash there. I think that would be such a cool, like if you had the Water Wars 2288 logo on there and just
Yeah, because you could sell that as a print with just that logo on there.
Yeah,
I
that-
do.
That'd be gorgeous.
That's
When I do the conventions and so forth, I do the prints. Thanks, EJB. Appreciate that. They print it in a cool way. It's like it's 2 layers, and the one layer is the printing, and then the other layer is like the shininess factor. And like it's really cool the way it comes out. It's hard to show on camera, but if you're looking at it, it really does look.
No,
You know, at the time we called
it's
it the
cool.
radioactive map,
Mm-hmm.
and it was Lewis' idea to use the bright blue.
Yeah, that it worked. It worked.
Sure.
Yeah,
good.
that bright blue looked great.
Yeah. And then we
Very
talk about the
impressed by
codex
that.
a little bit. In this case, in our version, the codex is a series of historical vignettes that tell the story in the background. Like in what year did everything happen? And it's sort of encapsulated in a little blurb. And here the assignment was to sort of make it look like a 1970s retro sci-fi movie poster. And I think that,
You succeeded.
yeah, right. The guy nailed it. Like I'm lucky to work with such talented people. In this case, it's Erwin Arosa, Dave Lentz, and there's some editing work that's done by my son, David.
Nice.
He's keenly involved in creating the lore
Right.
of the universe. And what they show here, I'll just give you a sort of an overview of a couple. These are 4 that were chosen in our last Kickstarter. We're up to like 12 pages or something now. That'll probably eventually be made as its own thing, but because each time we do an issue, there's 3 or 4 more that join. And you see what you got here. There's a fellow who is leading an robot gang. There was a fellow on a space station who was viewing the solar flare. There is a
That's
genetic
actually in
mutation.
a story, isn't it, Tim?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, all the things that they show are actually sometimes written about, or they might mention it in passing. And
Yeah, because I remember seeing that one. I'm going, why does that look familiar? And then I went back to my volume 1 Water Wars. Like, oh yeah, there it is, right there.
And I'll tell you a little secret, Pete, because you're a writer. There is, in fact, a codex page that exactly matches that story with the guy even have the same length hair, and he's got his coffee cup that has the smile. Because if you remember, his thing is different. He looks like the guy in the movie Silent Running. That's Dern.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce Dern.
Bruce Dern. That's who he's modeled
Bruce
after.
Dern.
His long-haired, scraggly version, and he's got the same spacesuit on. And his trademark, he's holding a mug with a smiley face on it. Because remember, in the first story, he drops the mug, and the mug shatters, and Earth explodes. The robots destroy the Earth. Right? And it's just the whole thing. It's very dramatic. So, actually, they destroy the space station. I think that's what they destroy in that version. But in this case, it was switched to the backer, whose name is Raymond, and he's also his trademark was his daughter has this stuffed animal that she likes.
That's awesome.
And the artist was able to perfectly capture the likeness of it. Wow. And I'd like to say here that a couple of people have voted who have done the drawn in type of things, and many have commented and said things like, "This is best in class I've ever seen at somebody being drawn into a story," meaning that good old Earth Dog Studios, we take the time and the diligence, and I get 10 to 20 photos of these people, and we go through multiple revisions, and we dial it into something that they really like and suits them. Like, for example, these next 2. One of them is a guy actually I used to work with, and I just love this dude. Because one of the assignments is like, well, do you want to be a hero or a villain, and do you want to be a human, a robot enhanced, or a terrifying mutation? Right, because we need bad guys in our universe, right?
Oh, definitely.
And he's like, man, I want to be this scary monster. And I was like, well, hey, I got this storyline coming up where these scientists create like these genetic atrocities to like gargoyles sort of to scare off anybody from their business. And the very first thing that these creatures do is to betray their masters and turn on them and form their own sinister race. He's like, oh yeah, I want to be one of those guys, right? So what you're seeing there in the bottom left, that's Dr. Terror. And Dr. Terror, He's like a pterodactyl. It's spelled with a P. It's PT.
Oh,
PT.
okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So that he's going to be turning up in a couple of future issues. Because we're loosely tied to this because of the hired by the corporation to protect it is the story that's the Minotaur. That's volume 4. So that's sort of already covered. Okay, and then the last one you see here, 2280, it's the first Water Gang, and he was our first backer. And I'm not going to say the names because I don't know if maybe they don't want me to say their names on the air, but he supported every project. He's from Eastern Europe, and he's always supported me ever since day one. Sometimes he writes to me. He's a super nice guy.
That's cool.
So that's a little bit about the codex, and what that is for roughly, I think it's $300 or something. You can have yourself drawn in, and you also get with it a print, which is on the hard cardstock pearlescent paper. You could like hit it with your finger and it wouldn't break. And it also includes every issue of the book, including all variants.
I like that.
I like that a lot. That art is just gorgeous that you're doing, that you got going there.
As we roll along here, one of mine, I always want to have, some lower price things. And I mentioned to Mike Teener, if you know him.
I want to be a molecule. Can I be a molecule?
You can be a molecule.
Thanks.
If you want to, I originally had a tier there. Molecule is just the tip jar, right? It's the water molecule. So you can dive right in. And we did get one. We got $1 from it.
Woohoo!
Cool.
And I had something written in there before, and it was called it doesn't matter what it was called because I took it out, but it was 3 stickers. And the text said, I hate comics. Don't send me any comics. I only want 3 stickers. Repeat, no comics. And I thought that was so funny, but I thought it might be off-putting right at the very beginning of the Kickstarter, right?
Right.
Kind of like getting right in everybody's face about
but molecules, that works because it's all within your theme.
Gotcha. Well, I'll go through and just quick explain what they are. The Tactical Hydrogen Kit, for $6, you get the new issue. That's 2 short stories and also whatever material is generated through the codex, which is always some, and you're also guaranteed to get the music and all maps.
Very
cool. Next level up, that's a digital level, of course. The next level right below it on the left, that's the printed one. That's the Tattered Shroud. That's a $10 book. Combat Prosthetic is $9. That's the full digital catch-up. That gives you all the Water Wars stories and all the Water Wars Chronicles. You're all caught up on everything for that.
And you get all the covers, right, with that one?
Yes, and as a matter of fact, you get all the maps too, Peter. And now the songs that comes, all digital levels come now with, is it 8 songs, 9 songs? It's not like, here's one song, like here's some to choose from.
Yeah, yep.
And a couple of them are pretty good, man. I'm biased.
I like the it's the 8-bit one on there.
Yeah, and there's going to be a new one of those. I'm coming to that. Hold your horses, Sonny.
Okay, sorry.
Very cool.
I love this stuff.
$15. That's the Partially Assembled Guardian. That is the Erwin Arosa cover. Canopy of Light, $10. That is the wraparound cover for you people that like wraps. Gnosis of the Faithful. I collect Erwin covers. Water Wars 1, 2, and 3. And you get a little price break, by the way, for that one. Same thing. I want all 3 issues. Fell Voices Raised, 1, 2, 3, $28. It's a little bit of a discount.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's likely that number 3 will come with a Chrome enhanced upgrade at no charge to everyone. It's likely. Release from the vault. I am now in the CGC business. I've sold 2 of them. These are just what they look like. They are professionally graded copies of the early Water Wars material. Everything all the way up to Lost at Sea is CGC. Does anybody like graded books?
Yeah, I have a few graded books in my collection.
I have a few too. And I say that gently, Allison, because I know some people don't like it, right?
I have a Hulk 181 graded and 94
nice.
And a few
congrats. You got a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. The retailer pack, that's where I'm trying to sell a stack of books to comic book stores. I usually get one of those. The Mecha Patron, selling original art, either a single page of $88 art or a splash image for $188. You'll see what I mean about the splashes when they get up to it. Generally speaking, that's one big image that takes the size of a whole page.
Sure.
Practically what I call it. Join the Codex. That's what we were just talking about. That's where you can have yourself drawn in. It's $288. That's what it costs. Dangerous to go alone. Take this. Comic Creators Seminar. I say that a little bit in jest, but now I've helped 2 people make their comic.
Very nice.
Now I sell the spot, and I always sell at least one of them. And I got one last time, and I got one this time.
Dang,
very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's generally something pretty similar to what I'm doing. And the one guy, he wouldn't mind. His name's Matthew. We've gotten to be friends over it. And his deal is he's a little bit similar to Peter in some ways, that he has a prose novel that's post-apocalyptic, and he's trying to develop, what he wants to do is develop his novel into a comic.
Sure. Yep.
That one's on the burner now. So hopefully I'll get one of those. And Sisters of the Void, the original cover art for $488. Yep, and that's already sold, by the way.
Oh, I was going to say I'll show my credit card right on screen right now.
Right. And I gotta be honest with you.
I could use some more stuff.
I gotta be honest with you. Sometimes, guys, the art's so good and so beautiful. I sometimes kind of don't want to sell it for that low of a price, because since it's indie art, it doesn't necessarily, comic art pages, once a book's even modestly known, can begin to sell for what some people consider ridiculous prices.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, and what I mean by that is I'd want Renan to get that money. Like, I have the deal going now with them that whatever, well, of course, I got to pay the shipping and there's whatnot in it. So basically we split it. Whatever the money comes in from, we split it. But I pay for the crap out of my size. Because you're going to have, I ship them flat. You're going to have a little shipping in some of those bad boys.
Oh, sure.
Hopefully none go to Australia.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
because I don't roll them. Pete, I'm going to
Everything
sell
goes
them flat.
east. Everything goes east for some reason.
Yeah.
And
You see, so we got so far 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 are sold so far. And I just saw, I did sell one of the CGC books too. Like some things, just a reminder to anybody out there in listener land, that there is a limited time offer. For like the graded books and the original art. Once that's gone, there's no more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's just showing you the sold date. There's me and David. That's the piece, and it's like a plastic mylar that we put everything in, just so it doesn't
They're wearing a Sabaton T-shirt. I like them even more.
Oh my gosh, you're a Sabaton fan? It's so bad.
Hell yes.
When David turned 13, his birthday present, I took him to the Reading. Reading's a local city up here that has a hockey rink, and they put concerts in it. And Sabaton was opening for Judas Priest.
Oh yeah, I wanted to go to that show, but money. So
it was awesome. We had to leave a little early. It was a school night.
Fair.
But they were so good, like stupid good. And this fella, there was a quality page. That's a show sold. But that was he's a friend of mine actually. That's Todd from my work, and he collects original art pages.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's got a couple of good ones.
Nice.
He's got a Kurt Swan Superman page, and he's got some cool stuff. He's also a James Bond collector.
Nice.
So you see what I mean?
Nice.
I was talking to Pete about this, and also Peter, if he's listening up there at the top. Our customers are collectors. They collect things. I notice that a lot of times. So the hard part is figuring out what that thing is, right?
Right.
If we knew, we'd all be millionaires.
Right.
But they do tend to be collectors. And then I also do the pins. So what you have there is my previous. I have enough now of stock that I can sell them. And the first one is our Chronicles Kara. That's the Hunchback of Theological Quadrant 19. The middle one is the Guard from Citizen 0313, and of course Robot Marilyn from Lost at Sea.
That's a beautiful pin.
Yeah,
that is a beautiful pin.
There's definitely.
I'm so thankful.
Pin. Yeah.
The new reviews, when I say new, like some just got today of Lost at Sea, have been like so good.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, this went to something like. Well, I almost hesitate because I don't want you to think that I'm bragging. But I mean, I want you to know. So I think it was 16 countries now. And of course, some's just one, buddy.
Right. Still.
But still, my list is getting really long.
Yep.
And as the reviews of the book, though, people have been like, man, this is super good. I'm going to put it on my, because everybody has a show or channel or YouTube or something, right?
Yep.
So I don't know what to make of it. Like, first, I'm just so thankful, and like I say, one of the people I'm thankful for, people like Peter, have me on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, my show too. I just
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
happen. I just
Thank you
happen
so much.
not to be friends with you on Facebook. So
Yeah, that's how I know everybody.
That'll change.
yeah, it should.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm really grateful, man, for everybody. It really helps me, I think. I also, for the first time, I'm going to sell back issues. And what I mean by that, I've made enough books that
Mhm.
there's a good stack of books you can get. And this would be like for comic collectors who like that kind of thing. And remember, the smartest way to just get 3 issues is the way I showed you. 3 is a magic number. Just buy 1, 2, 3. You can read all the stories. But if you say, well, man, I like those variant covers, and I like the one where it looks like the lights are out, kind of. Okay, hey, wait, I still got those. I made those during one of my former Kickstarters, and you can still get them.
Yep.
So it looks a little confusing when you look at that many, but of course I can explain what they all are. If you're starting across at the top left, the first 2 are number 1. Those are the main books that started it all. The next 3 in a row are number 2, right? And the bottom left, that red one, the Renan Shoddy cover, which is now officially, it's been announced, it's the cover of Planet Comics number 8 from Antarctic Press. That's one of the ones that got picked up, right? So that's pretty good news there.
Well, so was 1B was a variant for, wasn't it?
Correct. I didn't mean to over last year's. Yeah, this is the second time in Planet Comics. That's Planet Comics number 3 you're seeing there.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I'm gonna keep pushing that deal because you guys know Ben Dunn from Antarctic Press, right?
Oh God, yeah. I'm actually working on a submission form right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the other group we're in, Allison.
Yeah.
I think he's terrific.
Oh, Ben Dunn's fantastic. I met him years ago.
Yeah, he's real helpful to me. For example, when I send him the latest, I always send the same email, and it says, and like I say, everybody's got to try their own thing, right? But mine is like it's a professional email, but it says, "Hey Ben, I know you're not looking for any open submissions right now, but I have one anyway. Take a look. Let me know what you think." Something like that, right?
Nice.
And I sent him the Hunchback that way, and he's like, "Wow, I dig it, man." He said, "But the thing is, this isn't fitting for." I think it was Exciting Comics I applied.
Okay. Yep.
And he said, "But it could fit in because like one's manga, one's superheroes, and one's sci-fi girls, I guess, kind of it is in a way."
Yep.
Yeah, which is awesome. And thanks so much, Ben. So that's what the red one is.
And the
Then going
Hunchback,
across the bottom,
the Hunchback is a beautiful story. That is the first one that I ended up getting from you guys, and I loved the Hunchback story. I mean, there's not even, I don't even think there's hardly any dialogue in it. It just
there's no dialogue. It's only sound effects.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful story.
Ooh, a silent issue.
Yeah, thanks for reminding the audience of that, Pete. That was the assignment for that one. It is a wordless graphic novel, and when I say graphic novel, I know that's a little bit of a overused term or overblown in some ways, but there are certain types of material that lend themselves to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those would be things like like the types of things that would be in like Heavy Metal magazine, or the anthologized things of the 70s Marvel black and white horror mags, or to my case, what it's most similar to was the books that were coming out more so in the 90s. Was more nighttime. There was a remake of Black Orchid, which was the plant-based female hero who I thought was just awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are examples what I would use the term graphic novel, because I'm not afraid of comic books necessarily.
Yep.
As Pete knows, in my world, hey, Water Wars 2288, that's a comic book.
Yep.
Water Wars Chronicles, that's graphic novel, right? Really the only difference being the art, but they are written a little bit differently, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So as you go across there, you got the Chronicles books, which is the Hunchback, 2 covers, and Lost at Sea. And in Lost at Sea, see the bottom right one, that Forbidden Robot Love. That's the secret Kickstarter cover. It doesn't really say the title on the cover, and it has the foil enhanced romance logo.
I got that one too.
Yeah, man, it's such a fun one, right?
Yep. And then
and that's kind of rare. That was only I think 50 of those.
Nice.
Pretty rare. Yeah.
Nice. I'm going to sell it on eBay right now. No, hell no.
Well, and
I
I remind you too, our books are always oversized too, right? So that book that's a 56 pager, something like that. They're whoppers.
It's a big boy.
They feel thick. Yeah. And even the
I
Waterworks book.
I think I tried to like restuff that into a modern size bag and board, and
you got to do silver.
Shredded. Yeah, I shredded the.
Yeah, you got to be silver.
But
size.
The Lost at Sea, the main cover there, that what got me there. I looked at that, and I thought, because you kind of showcased that one early on, and I thought, because I had just gotten into Commandy, the Jack Kirby, and when I saw that cover, I'm going, oh my God, it's a homage to
Commandy the Last Boy.
Yes, I'm like going, that is awesome. So, I mean, if you're a lover of comics and you've like collected any of the older stuff, and you see some of these covers, and especially the quality of them, I mean, it's like my wallet opens up by itself.
Well, thanks, Pete.
Just beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff.
Thanks. And that was always what we were going for there too. Like the Water Wars Chronicles experience is really beautiful, right? But the stories are all either kind of sad or disturbing. Like they're not always joyful stories.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit down. Some of them are dark. For instance, the new one. Do you want me to give you the preview of the new one?
Yeah, definitely.
During the essentially what it is, it's a Chinese invasion. A wounded husband and wife, they fight in teams because of their effectiveness. They're escaping into the underground tunnels. The reason they're escaping is cobalt bombs are detonating on the surface. Everything's going to be radioactive for 10 months. So they get to the bottom of the stairs. Turns out the wife's wounded. Husband stitches her up. They go over into the cave. They can't open the door because it'll kill them all. This radiation will come in. They're stuck in there. It's not enough water. Right? The wife has a vision. It's like a dream. The red goddess comes and says to her, your family's going to help you survive this. She wakes up in the morning. She puts her hand on her stomach. She realizes she's pregnant.
That's fun.
Right? They're in this dire situation. Rice is running out. Husband's wounded from this battle outside. The wife eats the husband.
Oh,
ooh. Well,
that's how she survives the last month. The last scene is her coming out of the hatch. By the way, this is Arizona, Pete. And by the way, they lose this war. There's a Chinese flag flying over Arizona, and it's her walking up the settlement with her baby boy. They survived.
Wow.
And it says, it'll have some text. It'll say, her family helped her survive. Meaning she ate one.
Yep. And oh boy, did you taste good.
Horrific?
Wow.
Kind of like pork.
Yeah. Might be too dark. I don't know if Erwin will want to draw it. Okay, one other thing we got going on. If you like all those comics and think they look so beautiful and you really want to try it, but you don't want to be buying 5 different things, you can buy a single graphic novel, all the stories in one place. That's the Water Wars Chronicles.
Oh, that's really cool. Show the
and
cover.
that has the, you know how the logos, that looks kind of clear right there?
Yeah.
It's hard to represent that. That's also the chrome enhanced. That's one where if you turn it towards you, like the light, you know what I mean? It's really cool.
Wow. And so that is something that you're offering now?
It is. And Pete, this is what I want to talk to you about. You ready for this? As we go forward, we could sell the stories into different anthologies and things like Planet Comics, Exciting Comics, maybe Behemoth or one of them. But we always retain our creators' rights, and our products will be sold, or many of mine will, in my case, in the form of graphic novels or say paperbacks in the case of 2288, because it's smarter for the warehousing and it's even a better deal for everybody. What you're looking at there with Chrome, if you do the Chrome, that's like a $24.95 book. But are you ready for this? It's 106 pages.
Ooh, that's a good run.
Yeah, and that's and just knowing from the books, the singular copies that I have in my collection, because I believe in Water Wars 2288. That a book like that with all those packed in there, oh my God, that's.
Well, let me see if I can show you something. I don't know if this would be the most effective way to do this, but the stories in this case in the graphic novel all have like a frontispiece inside of them, which I'll just show you what I mean by that. Because it'll show you the cover, right? But then there's always a blank page before it with a single image. Like in this case, it's the butterfly next to the candle.
Nice.
I want to verify you.
That's the kind of thing Matthias calls it. He said you got to give the stories room to breathe. He calls it, and that's why I think in our stories I try to always have a page or two. You can let the stories breathe. I know it's not the smartest printing cost. Hey, thank you, Michael. Appreciate that a lot. That is available on the Kickstarter, Water Wars Chronicles. It's super good, and I'm really biased. Stretch goals, some of them you've already hit.
So I'm a customer, and I can tell you that it's wonderful.
That's all that matters.
Wonderful material.
Thanks, Pete. Your support really meant a lot to me.
I'm looking forward to the two of you working together on some stuff. I think that'll be interesting.
Yeah, we do click thematically. The stretch goals, here's where we are so far. We have protected the book. That's one that I always like to do on, honestly, all the Earth Dog products. What that is basically the thicker cover stock. It's better for collecting, and it feels a little more booky, I say.
Yeah,
spend the money on a better product.
More weight. So.
2688, that's Reveal the Map. What that'll be in this case is the Chinese Subterranean Assault Map. And what it'll do, if you have the other two, you'll know right away. It's essentially the same map, but it'll have the drilling sites of the Chinese coming out from below, and on the East Coast will be the robot uprisings. Maybe I might even do two colors. I'll see how much it is.
Very cool.
And on the back would be a mini print, which I haven't really decided that, but since for the Chronicles it was always Irwin pieces, maybe I should do a Renan piece, or I do have that Mannix piece, or maybe there'll be a new Codex piece, something like that has the year. People always like that.
Yep.
Unleash the Sound. You ready for this? This is very exciting. I work with Sterling Jackson. We're songwriters, and we make theme songs that accompany these short stories. This one will be a interpretation of a classic Chinese melody. There's some Asian elements in the story. I should have mentioned that. It kind of goes together. In this case, it's an Asian melody. It's over 3,000 years old. It's called High Mountain Flowing Water. And this one, it'll start with traditional ancient instruments like wood blocks and flute and a guzheng, if you know what that is. It's like an instrument that you play laying down flat. And then it'll be like sirens, and it'll turn into a metal epic theme track that'll be super grinding, and it even has a little bit of syncopation. It's pretty creative. I think you guys will like it.
Wow.
And it's about 2 minutes long. And what that is, of course, is just one of those little freebies that we give to backers, because we find that we have more digital backers each time. So what can we do to give them a special experience that maybe someone else didn't have? So what we do is we put that into the theme songs.
Yeah, I primarily myself do digital backing because of my multiple sclerosis. I have difficulty turning pages in books, so much easier for me to do that. And we got panels on pages. Hey,
thank you, panels.
Nice.
I appreciate that a lot. You're going to like this one because there's more cool stuff coming. And I tell Pete this. I don't like the stress for me of worrying if I'll hit my goal or not. So I think maybe I set my goals too low. Like, I thought it'd be funny to hit 2288 is the goal. But of course that was too soon, guys, because we hit that, like, it took out the drama of going to the goal. Right. But what we have that's really cool is I have stretch goals that are interesting, and there are things that are fun for me. Like, I like to do them. And if you're a digital backer, you'll go, oh, wow, that's kind of cool. And in this case, I told you about the Red Goddess song. Well, the next one is if you liked our classic 8-bit video game theme song, we're doing that again, but it's the Water Wars theme, as if it was coming out of a Sega machine.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what we do, these are, they're what they call plugins. So once you know how the melody goes, you can make it sound like anything. And you can actually put in 1971 computer fax machine. You know what I mean? So then you just have to dial it in until it sounds video gamey. Like we have it sort of build up so it sounds like a boss is coming, that kind of thing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But if you like video game theme songs, you'll like that.
Yeah, I like that first one. I enjoyed that. That was fun. That's a fun
Yeah.
one.
Well, our next one coming up, and I'm hoping we will hit this in the next couple of days, it is the enhance the cover, right? What I'm going to do in this case, that's cover A, because last time I did cover C, and not enough people got the cool logo, I thought. So in this case, we have the ability to either do the logo itself in shiny silver, which I think always looks cool, plus the other things are outlined with a little chrome. And the other choice is it has the artificial intelligence. Her head is kind of in the background, faded. I thought if there was a way to make her head the enhancement, like if it was translucent, kind of.
Well,
but it'll be something. It'll be something visually where you go, "Whoa, that's pretty cool." Because remember, it's already on the hard paper.
Right.
The hard stock, yeah. The next one is the 3888. That's the next song, which is the classic video game. 4488 is Expand the World. That's additional codex pages, which would probably be 6 pages, I think. Unreleased art, which that'd be some of the preview of our Western. And a Lovecraft feature. It'll be a short interview with Renan. I sort of glossed over something important. He and I are also in another book right now that's doing really well, which is Russell Nolte's Cthulhu is Hard to Spell. So first of all, I got to give a little love to that book. Man, if you want to buy 2, then buy that one too.
Yeah.
But the point really here is that my partner Renan is just killing it and has been really just a terrific creative partner for me. So what it's in this case, it'll take the form of it'll be me and asking him a couple questions and where he's from, like a little feature on him, and then it'll be like a selection of the pages. It'll probably show the the top 6 or 5, depending how the layout looks. But a little bit more though, to emphasize his importance.
Yep.
Very cool.
Display the emblem. That is a. There's 2 ways to do this. Display the emblem is going to be for physical backers. It'll be the sticker that goes in the shipment. Because remember, these are remotely fulfilled. Right? It's coming from Michigan, all the packages. So I guess maybe to see my own book, I better buy a couple, man.
I like it.
No, I think in this case, we'll do the sticker, and it will probably be. You know what I'd really like to do is a codex sticker. There's a glowing blue one that was kind of neat. That's the only one I haven't done one yet. But it'll be some cool little freebie. The next one is the trading card Robot Maryland, which, we do a little bit of the trading cards. Boy, I hope we hit $5,000. If we actually started doing stuff like that, I'd probably do one more song.
Heck
But
yeah.
I guess my goal, I'm never 100% sure how people estimate their Kickstarter goals. And I'm lucky that mine have grown every time. And it feels funny to say it, but I am starting to get some followers, enough to where I recognize their names, and people have been really, really supportive. So
Yep.
I don't want to let them down because, as Pete knows, many people are creators. And I think at the end of the day, we're not sure who our target audience is.
Mm-hmm.
But in my case, I don't know, I'm a little older for one thing, but I know who my target audience is. I do it for myself. And I want to write these stories because they're stories that I would like. And I felt that they weren't there. So that's 100% my motivation. And I hope that honesty and that purity shines through in the work. And I feel like it might.
It does.
Yeah. But what happens is it's a little bit like a snowball. It starts rolling down the hill, and we're magnetic to each other, right? Certain types of personalities are drawn to it. And gosh, especially in the comics world, there's so many types of things. I'm not even necessarily a superhero guy, which that automatically axes me from half the anthologies. It's just technically not my cup of tea. But
Nothing
as
wrong
far
with that.
as the support that the indie community has given me, man, they've been great. You know, I just got so much gratitude. We'll take a quick look at the team on this one. That's me. I'm the writer and creator. Renan Shoddy, the illustrator. Angel on colors. My boy Justin Birch on letters. I love that
Justin
guy.
Birch. Yep.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He
Louis
does
Santa
my stuff
Marina.
too.
I always say to people, if you look at Water
He's a-
Wars and
he's a
you look
map
at the
guy, right?
series, yeah, but he's the one that makes it look like a cohesive brand.
Mhm.
And if you ever look at the series and say, wow, that looks like a really together series, it's really organized in one uniform world, you just understood what Luis Santa Marina does.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah.
He's your continuity guy.
Mm-hmm. And he's the reason why two covers look the same, and the reason, you know what I mean, and why the interior cover. Oh man, my boy Greg!
Ah, yeah, boy.
What's up, buddy? I'm so glad to have him. See, this is what I mean. Like, I've had people support me that, you know, and by the way, if you don't know too much about Gregory, he's a super talented guy too. The Water Wars Chronicles is a little bit more the hard sci-fi end of the Water Wars experience. The stories are modeled after Bradbury and Matheson, and they usually have like a little twist at the end. And that would be the issues so far are the Hunchback book and then Lost at Sea, or you can buy those together in the graphic novels.
Mhm.
Let's see what else we got here. Of course, Matthias, editor, he looks over everything. And Dave Lentz, he's the new guy, but man, I love Dave. We kind of put the whole thing together just so I could work with Dave.
There you go.
And I always put a little blurb here at the bottom. The book's complete. Why a crowdfunding campaign? Because in my case, it's designed to connect with a broader audience. Because what I don't have is distribution. So I have like too much anxiety or whatever to do a Kickstarter. Be like, hey, I've made the first 5 pages, but I need the money to X. And by the way, that's okay if anyone does that. You know, we're all on our own journey. But I'd be too nervous to like do that. So what I do, I wait till the book's basically in the can. And what I mean by, hey, you're welcome, panels. I appreciate you asking. What I mean by in the can, that means even lettering done. Like in my case, maybe a little editing, you know, small things. But it's basically a done book. The book that you're seeing on Kickstarter, here's all that needs done for that yet. The interior page, which, you know, they have a little, we modify those a little bit each time. Covers are done. The map, he's working on the map now. Songs are being produced now. I'll probably edit the lettering a little bit, but other than that, it's done.
Nice.
Yeah, so I mean, the Kickstarter's not even done.
Right.
But that's, I try to do that intentionally. Like I showed you number 4. That'll be September, well, August maybe, and we're probably 10 pages in, 12, something like that.
Nice.
So you see, I'm little by little, I'm learning it, right? Like it's this wheel that goes around. Right about the time you finish one Kickstarter and you're fulfilling, you better be launching your next one, or you're not going to hit 3 that year.
Right. Yep. For Big Jack number 3, I actually got a lot more done ahead of time before I actually launched the Kickstarter. So, and I might have mentioned this earlier, but yeah, all the covers are done. Pinups, I got 11 pages done. EV Cantata. So it's a 26 page book. So a few more pages to go, but anyway, but yeah, wanted to get a little bit more done this time than I guess the last 2 issues. So, but yeah,
for real. Well, Pete, I think your stuff's terrific. I said before, I was one of your fans. Right? I mean, it's the first time I read Big Jack. I was like, this is a good book, man. I like what he's got going here. Also, I always think the people who decide to intentionally use black and white, it's a bold choice and it's a brave choice, because I think about it every time.
It turned out really well. I mean, I think maybe it's like a big nod to EV Cantata, because he does like wonderful black and white work. And I had a guy at a comic book store that I was at that I was introduced to, and he had bought the first 2 issues, and he goes, I was never into black and white books until I picked up your book, and I thought that was pretty cool. So,
Yeah, that's
but
cool.
but yeah, and there's so much out there now that there's like some super quality black and white work out there. So, but I figured Big Jack would probably work best in like a moodier, black and white, because EB does a lot of shadows and stuff like that.
Yes.
So it works good.
I'm going to answer that question real quick. Yeah, you can buy the back issues. There's like a base level, and then there's like a deluxe level. If you do the deluxe level, that comes with all issues, all maps, and all music, and that's $9.
Mm.
Oh, and by the way, that's also going to include the digital bundle, which I'm going to be announcing in the next week. I didn't even get to that part yet. I mean, there's digital people are going to get hooked up, because I don't know the 100% answer, but I know that it's growing. So I'm trying to sort of focus on it.
Well, digital fans like
Very
me will be
cool.
happy.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. And there, my last thing that I'll add there, you see on the screen, that is Comics Wellspring is my is like my backer kit, for lack of a better word. In other words, they're going to do all shipping and handling for me, and I'm also going to start warehousing books there. And that's right about the time where Pete comes in.
Yep. And they're Michigan based, so I can go there and check things out, make sure they're on the level.
Yeah, I should give them a shout out. I've gotten exceptional customer service there.
Yeah,
and,
they're on the east side of the state, so they're on the east of me. I'm on the west end. But yeah, yep.
Michael, you can add the collected trade. I have it as an add-on, so you could add it to Emmy.
Very nice.
I'm glad people have showed so much interest in it. My favorite review, it's sad and beautiful.
Yeah, that is a great review. Well, guys, it's coming up on 2 hours.
Yep.
Oh yeah, thanks for having us, guys. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
No, it was like
I'd like to give
I'm talking
everyone.
with Peter, like meet my new friend Alison.
Hey,
Yeah, thanks, Peter. I appreciate you a lot, man.
Yeah,
would you
thank
guys like to give a
My
shout out
pleasure.
to where we can find you?
Yeah, absolutely. My name's Timothy Fling. I'm on Facebook, which is the fastest way to find me. Or if you Google or go on Kickstarter, I am under the Water Wars.
Yep. My name is Peter Welmerink. You can find me on Facebook. I think it's under P Welmerink. So Peter Welmerink. And you can find my work on Kickstarter. I think you just need to search Big Jack, and you'll see my boy.
Fantastic.
So
Yeah, I got both your links down below in the
Yep.
video description for your
Thank you.
crowdfunders. People go click that, go check them out, go pledge, go share,
Yep.
all that jazz.
Yep.
Allison, did you want to share some art or something?
Yeah,
You
I'll throw
mentioned
some stuff up real quick.
Yeah.
Let's see. Share screen. Dude.
Don't leave yet, Greg. There's art coming.
Yeah.
Yep. This is the Enter the Cromniverse piece I'm working on.
Sure.
We have Crom. And that's the
Nice.
first page of it.
Very cool.
So I'm having fun with that. And this is my current book that I'm working on. Girl in Her Shadow.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a nice cover.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Let's
I like the
see.
logo too.
Thanks. Yeah, I had fun designing it. I said I got this roughed out and stuff and kind of bounced between different ideas with things. So.
Wow.
Did this look like? Yep. And this is one of the fight scenes I'm working on. And there's going to be a sound effect behind here that just says block. So yeah, that's the stuff I'm doing right now. So I got Cromniverse working here, and I'm going to be giving it my old school colors and stuff like that, and kind of going from there.
Yeah,
I like it.
Thanks.
I like it.
Sweet. Yeah, and I was working on this. It's like I finished
Hang on,
most
Pete.
of the top. I got.
Hang on, Pete. I got a big in you.
Big and
There you go.
Oh,
Show
good.
us off.
Yeah, I got most of the top done. I got little work I need to do on some blacks, but I'm going to take my time on the bottom guy. The last panel of the story. So,
Nice.
So then I'll be done with the anthology story at least. And
Yeah,
on to
I'm
other
going to be
things.
texturing and lettering that book. So I already got the first few pages done.
Yeah.
So once I get the rest, I'll be able to blow through all of them pretty quick. It doesn't take me long to texture a page. Man, since I don't have to color, it's even better.
Is your background battle? What's that called?
Battle Chasers, yeah. It's Joe Mad's Battle Chasers.
Yep. I recognize it. Out of my collections, that was like one that I kept when I was selling a bunch of my stuff because this is too good.
Yeah, I have Joe Mad's one of my big influences, so I collect everything that he does. And I was one of his Kickstarter backers for the video game and everything. And
nice.
Sooner or later, I'll get the issues that are supposed to be being done for it, but figure it should be sooner than George R.R. Martin with Winds of Winter. So,
right.
It's a different artist, right? That's being finished.
Yeah, it's different artist. He did some like World of Warcraft stuff. He's got a damn good style. I mean, I'd prefer it with Joe Mad, but whatever. Oh, I'm going to be yellowing Crom's teeth because I don't think he brushes very much.
Yeah.
This is Kaiju Crom.
But yeah, I guess tomorrow will be, typical 4:00. And we don't have any guests for the rest of the week, which is good because I got too much going on. But I do have future guests, and
I got
people coming.
Let's see, I'm having an operation on Monday, so yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you. It's to help me with some weight loss, since my multiple sclerosis makes it very difficult for me to lose weight nowadays, and COVID didn't help.
Right. Yeah.
So dealing with
your kitties will be taken care of.
Of course. Yeah, I got friends coming by to take care of them.
Peter can take care of the cat.
He can drive up from Kentucky to Massachusetts. It'll be great.
There you go. Yeah. With a cat in the car. I know how cats travel. Not too well.
Depends on the cat. Mostly not too well.
Mine have never.
I got a cat that loves going for rides in the car. But that being said,
I used to have a cat, Pop, who loved sitting on my lap while riding in the car, looking out the window. He was super sweet. But all right,
we're out of here.
Anybody who watched it, thanks for coming out. Thanks for the people who showed up in the chat.
Nice to see you guys.
Give this
good
video a like.
Always
subscribe to the channel, become our patrons, all that jazz. We'll see you again tomorrow. And have a
see you on the flip
night.
side.